It should come as a surprise to nobody that Shane Smith will be the opening day starter for the Chicago White Sox. Plus, the season starts in about 2 weeks. Chicago White Sox have started to trim their roster down. And how has Munitaka Murakami, Kyle Teal, and the rest of the White Sox players representing their countries looked so far in the World Baseball Classic? It's your boy, Big Kev. We're going to get into it right after the intro.
Welcome to Chicago White Sox Central, your number one place for all Sox news and content.
Good morning, Chicago White Sox fans. Welcome to another episode of Chicago White Sox Central, your number one spot for all things Chicago White Sox related. I'm your host here, Big Kev, holding it down for the South Side. Y'all already know what it is. Hit me up at Big Kev from the Shy, Big Kev from DACHI, Sox Central Pod, Shy White Sox Central at gmail.com. And of course, like, comment, share, follow, hit that notification bell. Man, the season is on the way, baby. But I can't wait. I cannot wait. But let's get into it. Like I said, man, nobody should be surprised that Shane Smith is the opening day starter for the Chicago White Sox. He was the lone all-star on this team last year. And, considering that he was the first pick of the Rule 5 draft, that was quite the accomplishment. But here is what Shane Smith had to say about the honor. He said, "I wanted that so bad." He said in the video by the White Sox after getting emotional when Venable delivered the message, still processing a lot of it. He he said, "It means a lot to me and a lot for the Chicago White Sox to believe in me to start the season on a strong note. A year can change a lot of things. 18 months can change a lot of things in life. Really grateful to be here and represent the Chicago White Sox on opening day." So bravo. Kudos to that young man for earning this moment. I know it's a big moment for him considering where he came from, considering what he had to go through to get to the major leagues overall. And he'll have the opportunity to open the season versus the team that drafted him, the Milwaukee Brewers. And here's what he had to say about the Brewers. There's no ill feelings toward them by any means. It will be cool. I work out with Sal Frelick in the offseason, so I know him really well. A lot of my good buddies are still over there. I hope they are on the opening day roster, and I can see them after opening day. So first time going there, being with the White Sox, it will be a little ironic, but yeah, opening day against anybody, it's an honor. So shout out to him, man. Now, we know Shane Smith is going to look to build on last season's success, even though it wasn't like smooth sailing straight through for him. It was a bumpy ride, honestly, for the 25-year-old. In fact, 4 starts between June 17th and July 6th last year. Shane Smith had a 12.33 ERA. So when he faces the Milwaukee Brewers on March 26th, the Chicago White Sox hope that they will begin seeing the version of Shane Smith who carried a perfect game into the 6th inning versus the Washington Commanders on the last day of the season last year. Now, White Sox skipper Will Venable had this to say about Smith: somebody who obviously from a performance standpoint has put himself in that category of guys we want to see at the front of our rotation, but also as a teammate and a leader in our clubhouse. He's a guy that sets an example for our group and is really emerging as a leader in the clubhouse. So Will Venable also mentioned that there are other pitching circumstances that have worked themselves out, but he'll mention it when it's when it's ready to be said. But we already know Anthony Kay, Davis Martin, Eric Fetty, Sean Burke, those guys are going to probably be the other starters in the rotation. But let me know what y'all think. How do you feel about Shane Smith getting the ball first to the mound in 2026? March 26th cannot get here soon enough. I know I'm excited to see him get the opening day start, but you guys let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. Now, with the regular season coming closer into view, the Chicago White Sox have cut their roster to 55 players. Some notable names are Jairo Iriarte, Shane Murphy, Jacob Gonzalez, Tim Elko, and of course Noah Schultz, Tanner McDougal. Now, Tim Elko is the first baseman that I was high on last season, especially when Andrew Vaughn was here stinking it up on the South Side before he was traded to the Brewers and decided to be a good baseball player. Now, Elko did play 23 games for the White Sox last year, but he got injured, and it looks like he didn't really show Chris Getz and Will Venable enough to allow him to crack the opening day roster. Munetake Murakami obviously is going to be the first baseman going into the season, so Elko is going to be back in the minors and work on some things, and maybe he can come up and do some spot play at first base. Maybe not. Who knows? But I did like him. Now, last year in AAA, he hit a whole bunch of home runs, and I wanted to see if he can do that at a consistent level on at the majors. But hey, again, Chicago White Sox went out and got Mooney, and you got to have him out there. That's just the bottom line. So best of luck to Tim Elko. Hopefully he can come back to the Chicago White Sox at some point, or maybe he'll go to another team. Shane Murphy and Jacob Gonzalez are both top 30 prospects for the Chicago White Sox, but they're just not ready for the big leagues yet. And then Zach Franklin was also part of the first wave of cuts, but he's a right-handed pitcher who pitched 13 games in AAA Charlotte last year, and he had a 2.40 ERA. So there's a chance he could be called up at some point this season to do some late relief work. Keep an eye out for him. Listen for that name later. Now, Tanner McDougal, he was sent to AAA Charlotte, and so was Noah Schultz. He was reassigned to a minor league camp. Now, we all know that Schultz and McDougal will most likely be playing at guaranteed rate field this season. In spring training, McDougal gave up 7 hits in 8 innings, but he struck out 7 batters and only gave up 2 runs. Schultz only pitched in 4 and a third innings in spring training, but the 6'10" left-hander, he had 5 strikeouts in 4 and a third innings. I mean, I'm very excited to see Noah Schultz at the next level. At 6'10", man, you know who he looks like, the big unit. He looks like the big unit out there. Now, I know I cannot wait to see these guys get to work on a major league level. But for now, we have to wait and see when they'll actually be called up. But let me know what y'all think, though. Were there any surprising names in those initial cuts to get the Chicago White Sox down to their 55-man roster going into these last couple of weeks of spring training? Let me know what y'all think in the comments below. But finally, if you have not been watching the World Baseball Classic, you've been missing out. I mean, it's so cool to see meaningful baseball being played in the month of March. Unless you watch college baseball, you really just don't get the chance to see meaningful baseball in the month of March. But the Chicago White Sox have a few players representing their respective countries, and we'll start with Munetaka Murakami. Japan has played 3 games so far, and honestly, Mooney's he's just been okay. He's been all right. We all remember how big he was back in 2023 when he helped lead Japan to a World Baseball Classic championship. He hit a big home run against the United States, actually, to put the Japan up in that championship game. And his first game this year, though, his most productive outing was in the first game. He went 1 for 3 with 3 runs scored and an RBI. In game 2, he went 1 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. And in the third game, he went 0 for 3, but he did make a lot of contact. He hit 3 fly balls to left field. And he walked once in game 3. They got to play game 4. Kyle Till and Sam Antonacci are representing Italy, but they've only played twice so far, and I've got to see good things from both players. Honestly, Kyle Till in game 1 went 2 for 4 with 1 strikeout, and it's not bad he's one of my favorite White Sox players. Antonacci came in off the bench in that game, but didn't get any at bats. In game 2, however, he had what might be. Well, Curtis Mead has some good plays too, but what I saw from Sam Antonacci the other day, he hit a triple in the 5th inning against Great Britain, right? I mean, he was flying around the base paths. I did not know that he was that fast. He slid into third base, and then there was a throwing error. He was able to get up and run home. So not quite an inside the park homer, but he was able to stretch a triple into a scoring play just off hustle alone. And of course, a throwing error from Great Britain helped that out. Check that out. Check out that highlight though, just to see how fast he was. Because I mean, man, he was flying. New White Sox closer Sir Anthony Dominguez He's only pitched once for the Dominican Republic. In one inning of work, he gave up one hit, and of the 9 pitches that he threw, 8 of them were strikes. Man, that Dominican Republic team looked real good, though. I'm not sure if anybody's going to be able to beat them. I know DR, Japan, and the United States are probably the favorites to win this thing, but man, right now the Dominican Republic looking unbeatable. They got so much power in that lineup. Hell, they only used 3 pitchers in their second game because they beat the hell out of whoever they was playing, and they just called the game. It was like a run rule. I think you can only score so many runs or something. Whatever happened, they didn't even need to go into their bullpen much. They beat the hell out of those guys. They might just win it all. And third baseman Curtis Mead is representing Australia. They've already wrapped up their pool play. Australia's 2-2. In game one, Mead went 2 for 4 with 1 strikeout. And in game two, like I said, he had some good moments. He went in game two, he went 2 for 4 again, but this time he had a 3-run home run to left center that pretty much gave Australia the win, put the game out of reach. In their third game, he struggled though versus Japan. They lost 3-2, and he went 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. And in their final game, which just wrapped up earlier today, he went 1 for 2 with 1 walk and 1 hit by pitch. Australia finishes play 2-2, and it's been fun watching the Chicago White Sox players being represented really well, honestly, throughout the entire World Best Baseball Classic. Have y'all been watching? Because I know I have. Let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. But that's it for today's episode. Appreciate the love and support that you guys have been giving this channel. Cannot wait to be here every single day throughout the regular season and hopefully maybe the playoffs. We're going to see. But let me know what y'all think about today's content, how y'all feel about Shane Smith getting the start, the opening day start, his first career opening day start. How you guys feeling about the roster cuts? Were there any surprising moves? And if you haven't been watching the World Baseball Classic, it's not too late to start. Got a couple more days before the elimination rounds, but you know what it is. It's your boy Big Care from the Shy. Just hit me up at Big Care from the Shy, Big Care from DACHI, Sox Central Pod, Shy White Sox Central at gmail.com. Like, comment, share, follow. Don't forget to follow the rest of the Chi-Town Sports Central family. Type in your favorite Chicago sports team, put the word Central behind it. You will find one of us, as well as NBA Central, the Shy Bulls podcast with the Cognac Boys, C-Dub and Bobby. And NFL Central is going to be busy over there on NFL Central as the legal tampering period is now in effect. The Chicago Bears have already made some moves today. Check out Chicago Bears Central, of course, with Hayes, C-Dub, Bobby, myself, and Steve-O popping in and out of there as well. And listen, y'all know what it is. I'm holding it down for the South Side. We definitely going to holler at you guys next time, man. I'm excited for the regular season. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.